Do you miss DVD commentary tracks? Well, fear not, because I have gone friend, the most scorned critic in all of YouTube. I'm here to give you commentary tracks for the movies streaming, the movies we love, and sometimes those we love to hate. Tonight, well, I think I got one we hate. It's Aliens vs. Predator, Requiem from 2007, starring a bunch of people you don't recognize. But before we get into it, I want to give a quick mention to my buddies over at calderalab.com, makers of the Face SPF, the only sunscreen that can ward off the face hugger. Use my promo code FRY15 to save 15% at checkout. Okay, we are about ready to start Aliens vs. Predator Requiem. I've got an IBC root beer. Let's go ahead and get that ASMR going right here. Always good to crack one of these open. I have my pink Himalayan salted air-popped popcorn with a little bit of extra butter, well, a lot of extra butter, and the Reese's Pieces. I suppose we are counting down to Alien Romulus, and maybe that's why we're doing all of these commentaries on aliens, predators, things of that nature. We're queued up over on Hulu at 0000. You want to join along with me? Hit play now. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. It says drumroll fanfare playing. Man, you cannot... even when they tweaked it up to this point, what is this, like a 2007 version or so? Did they have... I think they may have had this earlier than that. I think the same version applied in AVP. But I like it. I'm wondering what we're going to see. It's probably not going to be all that throwback-like for Romulus. Of course, it's not going to say 20th Century Fox. Try not to adjust your screens, folks. This is the darkest movie you have ever seen. There's probably darker, more digital, pixelated, just the image getting way below what the director could afford over his Sundance entry, all that. But this, my goodness sake. Not exactly sure who is to blame, but man, even from the onset, it's like there's no key lighting, full stop. Even the Predator sitting there on the table was lit in the last movie when we were left off, right? But I do feel like we're picking up really exactly where we left off. I mean, this ship is in distress now because it has a Predalien running around. All those predators on the ship couldn't handle this guy. Couldn't detect them. Even though they have... they're seemingly each armed with the capability to detect this. Got some big boy trophies there. This is your predator taxidermist. The Predalien's first victim right there. I'm not sure what you expected out of this creature. Does it live up to what you wanted? Amalgamated Design. Did they change their name fairly recently? They're behind like all the creature effects in this. Is it Tom Woodruff Jr.? He plays like the alien that you'll see. Who I think takes out is it a pregnant waitress? It's been a little while since I've seen this. I never felt inclined to have to watch it again, and now look what I do. Look how dark this is. And you know what? It's almost a welcome reprieve from today's overlit sitcom-y style looking attractions we see, right? But this will be the first time that we see an alien or a predator essentially take out a kid. There's going to be a lot of kids killed in this. Kind of off screen, very implied. You can tell from looking at this guy, he's no hero, right? I mean, I was kind of under the impression that there were a bunch of predators on the ship, but okay. Telling me this guy, we don't have a lot of predators surviving that? Like, what's the deal? Gonna get some escape pods, nothing. I mean, we've seen them take these pods Helldivers 2 style, about Halo ODST style, drop onto the planet just in the last movie. What color's this guy's gun? Pitch black? I mean, like, goodness sake. There's no mids at all. And I'm mostly inclined to think that the blame is on the colorist. This is a time where you're going to use digital intermediates. Yeah, pretty gruesome way for the dad to get taken out here. There's going to be color grading. Is it possible that they were given underexposed film? I mean, I would sure hope not. So, kind of hard to say, but I'm assuming it's more of a colorist issue. And we never have like terrible creature effects in any of these movies. It's just frequently a shame they're not done in service to something with a better narrative. So this predator, he's kind of a watchdog, like, well, it's up to me to clean things up. You would think we're not simply going on a hunt. Like, is this sort of like the Master Chief of the Predators? Like, all right, when things go wrong, we're sending our best agent. But he gets sidetracked quite easily. And I think that hurts the story a lot. Also trending down in the age groups here that we are getting very young with the cat. Oh my God, you can't see inside this guy's car. I may have watched this for the first time in HD on like the Universal HD channel, which that might have been it. I'm not sure where I first came across this. I think I saw it in HD somewhere on cable. This guy Dallas, obviously named as such because there was a character named Dallas in Alien. Forgot the actor's name entirely. I think his last name is Pascal. He was on a show a few years after this where he was a medical doctor. He's like the most awesome medical doctor ever on a short-lived NBC drama. I think it was short-lived. Probably the least prolific cast of all of the Aliens and the Predator films. You don't get a strong returning face element. I mean, at least last go around we had Lance Henriksen, right? Here, I mean, you guys probably don't know her, but Reiko Aylesworth. She was on 24 for a number of seasons. Probably thought, oh, hey, this will be the launching point. I'm kind of a movie star action girl disappears. A lot of movies around this time had a look to them. This is before everybody became orange, but this, Transformers, they're trying to do a high contrast thing. Transformers pulls it off way better. This is probably the darkest scene in the whole movie, where you get the impression you're supposed to see way more of what's going on in here. You'll see in a sec. Oh, you're walking around with this guy's arm? Yeah, okay, I guess it's coming out, but we'll see the aliens in the sewer, or you won't see them, but like, or okay, I'm under the impression that this was probably shot with way less of a stark shadow look about it. And we just, like, you know, NBA 2K the sliders to crazy heights here. Aliens vs. Predator Requiem, the perfect movie to test the blacks in your OLED. Hell, this guy doesn't even have anybody possibly sitting behind him in his truck, and we still took the headrests off. Movie trope. This girl probably thought she was going to blow up. Did not. Beyond an inability to see in this movie, especially when night comes, a real serious injustice is in the trailer. They had a very skewed teen demo trailer going, but they were like, don't worry, it's R now. But we kind of want to ride some success of edgier horror, but in a kind of like Freddy versus Jason fun way with the marketing. And I think it was like a let the bodies hit the floor. It was a song like that. And it was just a montage of everybody getting killed. And it's like, did I just watch the whole movie? Hell, I think who you're thinking, main blonde chick over here, mainish, like she's going to be around. I think she gets killed in the trailer. Dude's got a bit of a cringe haircut thing going here. Not really knowing how to write teens or young college kids. It's just, we have to fight because you delivered pizza. Throwing the keys in the sewer, I'm wondering, is that a jailable offense or something? Like, maybe. Heck, your replacement smart keys now probably cost enough for it to be a felony. I'm going to have to look this up, but is this guy on The Office? This guy right here. Is he the resident gay office guy who they kind of have too many jokes cracked out expensive. I think it might be. No, I got Arturo Braga, Fast and Furious 6. All right, well, I guess I was way off on that. Well, we know these two got face hugged, so they can't be long for this world. But then the Predator gets here and is really not offering a lot of help. You'll see, like, the Predator's like, no, Pred's got a Pred, man. I've got to string people up, all that stuff. Kid doesn't really churn out great acting. Dad? Prior to this movie, we haven't seen aliens run loose on a settlement full of civilians and the like. It happens in Aliens off camera. But this is more like if you saw what was going on in Aliens. But set in, where is it? Colorado, whatever. Poor Reiko O'Brien here. Her hubby doesn't last too long. What makes you think she doesn't like the night vision goggles? Things probably cost more than my childhood. Hey man, you're back. Yeah, it's like, this guy's so dangerous. He's gonna be a great asset when the aliens attack, right? Oh no, we can't give you the bat. Everybody knows what happens when you get the bat, right? You're gonna have to go away again. It's almost like I'm playing Life is Strange. Like, we got these, like, interpersonal scenarios. Cause effect. Oh, and then the aliens and the predators kind of interrupt. Turns into a totally different video game. Here we go. You know, I'm wondering if it weren't for the incredible contrast ratio of my OLED, I probably wouldn't see anything. This would just be a smear of light gray. Only recently has technology caught up with this film. Not presented in HDR, by the way. I think this is 1080p over on Hulu. Very few things are actually HD, 4K HD. Yeah, only really their made for Hulu stuff is 4K with HDR. Some recent editions can be 4K, but 4K might make this even weirdly darker. And I would surmise that there was a plan in place here to keep this dark, so you didn't get that good of a look at the Predalien. Try to keep the monster mysterious, right? It's really, I'm thinking, more Alien than Predator. It may not side with either of them that easily. But behavioral-wise, it's going to act like the aliens, right? Because it's not technologically equipped. It doesn't have the cloaking device. The, what is it? Bolt caster? Or, God, why am I forgetting them what they call that? Shoulder mount, right? Yep, you're a whole lot of shadow, Mr. Predator. Would love to tell you what we're coming across. I'm assuming we found... Yeah, found the ship. I mean, it could be anything. It's just black. Oh, now we jumped inside and we see it's not a forest. Okay. Hold on, gotta take off my smartwatch for the hell of it. Gotta charge this bad boy up. Deep purring. Yeah, we gotta remember the fallen, right? I want a sample of this water. And I'm not really sure why we need the sample, because it's like this guy got like the vision that caught him up on the going on, all the activity, right, aboard the ship. Like he saw the video. You didn't come to the planet armed. You're taking what's available that survived the crash. We don't need the humans stealing this tech, right? I would have probably set that, give myself a little more leeway before the whole big explosion. In a movie where no one can see, a small girl is gifted night vision, so... Guy's looking like, what is he, budget Dax Shepard? It's Dax Shepard, right? His name's Dax. He's married to the chick from Frozen, right? trying to remember if Reiko's character had been killed off on 24 by the time this came out. This guy's name's Sam Trammell. Gotta go look for your keys, bro. Just this whole cast is just wall-to-wall people you would not expect to be in like a theatrical release film these days at all. Like, I mean, heck, you put a few people plus Samuel L. Jackson together, you don't even get in theaters now. Whenever they have rats in these movies, I'm saying any film, they're always trained in some way. There is a rat wrangler. But there can be issues. They can get a little bitey. I honestly couldn't tell you if sewers actually look like this. I think there is an assumption that so few people have ever seen a sewer that it can be depicted in almost any way in a movie. Well, that was no rat, dude. Darn miracle this guy found his keys. Doesn't even have an Apple AirTag on him. Just a nice group of people looking for the hunter and the boy. Buddy and Sam. What's the predator going to do about this? I mean, if you were okay with killing a bunch of people, why not just let the aliens do the damage they do? Right? Like, what is the Predator's real mission here? Is it more like, make sure you blow up the Predator stuff because we don't need anybody else getting our tech? Not so much concerned about protecting any civilians. You know, any kind of prime directive with the Predators, no... You know, leave nothing disturbed, whatever it is. No interference with an inferior race. All right, this might be an unpopular opinion, but Alien versus Predator Requiem here, not precision HDR, not 4K, none of that, but standard dynamic range. We're looking at a easier to look at movie on this OLED than Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon, which is excessively dark, has a hell of a time being out of focus, cracked, broken lenses all over the damn place. All right, gotta destroy some evidence. Which this is like the final word in acid, this blue stuff, right? And do you have enough of this to pour all over everybody? Really got to take this guy out because he saw you? Come on. You were going to move so slow, methodical, with stealth and intention. No one was going to see you during this whole operation. You'd defeat the Predalien without it being in the middle of broad daylight. None of that, huh? Holy hell, that guy's 36 years old? You've got to be kidding me. That hunter at the beginning is 36. Yeah, there's a lot of cute gals in town. Carrie, I think, is the waitress that gets a... Yeah, the pregnant waitress sees her demise in the bathroom, something like that. You can actually see set photos of this where Tom Woodruff Jr.'s got the predator, no, the alien xenomorph head off. And he's a good deal shorter than what you would kind of want in a predator, but, I mean, an alien, he's like 6'2". There's ways to shoot it so that it works well enough. Now, I may have incorrectly said that there was a R-rated cut of AVP, but I think this one may actually have like an unrated cut, or somewhat slightly different in a way. Now, look, I'm telling you, this doesn't make a lick of sense over here. We're covering up all the traces, right? I mean, we're getting the blue stuff out. We're going to pour the acid on the bodies, all right? Oh, yeah, I still got to do my trophy thing. Predator's got a pred. Like, why? Why is this happening? If you took the guy out and then you said, all right, that's because he witnessed me. He saw me, so I'd take him out. Now I'm going to pour the blue stuff on him. There would have at least been some logic. I suppose this is the first time we're seeing a predator not on a hunting safari. So the rules are going to be a little bit different for him. I'm just saying there's no consistency. Okay, so are they in high school? It's really the way a lot of times it goes in Hollywood. Amorphous age range. Could they be in college? Could they be in high school? Are they young parents? This is totally normal. Pizza delivery guy gets punched by my boyfriend, so I leave the boyfriend, and yeah, I think it was just so cool how you fell on the ground immediately and then eventually got your keys at night. I'm gonna make you mine. Yep, it's totally how that works. This character, this blonde girl, her character would be so very different now. There'd be so much more of an agency thing about it. For better or worse, I'm simply stating her character does not exist today in movies. Like, everything has to go through the Bechdel test. Uh-oh. Alien rat nest. Okay, now I've got to wonder something. Where are the eggs gonna come from to make the xenomorphs from captured victims that are not outright killed? Like, we had a face hugger. We had some face huggers on board, right? But they can only do so much. If you are a Predator fan, you're probably going to like the way the Predator's portrayed here in relation to its survivability against the xenomorphs, because being the only Predator on the scene, he's got to take out like a ton of them. Like, there can't be too much of a threat against him, especially early. But this is an incredibly short film too, guys. We get to the end here, I'll clock in what time we get to before the credits start. Got a bit of a slice and dice grid. Pretty hard to tell what's going on here, even with an OLED. Oh, there's the Predalien. So it's stronger. Like, it just possessed so much strength and maybe intellect that just without the years of training of a predator knowing to be a predator, or like, I don't know. Oh, what did the poor pregnant? Does she work at Papa John's? I saw a Papa John's sign, but no, it couldn't be a Papa John's. I mean, come on, she's a pregnant waitress. She's gonna have it pretty rough here, and she's got to get taken out by an alien. And you know it's gonna happen because we're lingering on her, and she's so removed from any of the core characters as introduced, right? Does she even get to a bathroom? I know she ended up on a tile floor. Because there's a shot. If only the predator had seen you first and saw that you were pregnant. Oh, there's the Predalien. We went for R and we cut away because that would have been expensive. I think that's the logic there. Oh yeah, that is totally how little girls run their hands to grab something. Let's run our hand up the blanket for suspense that no one is in universe watching, but okay. Yeah, that's not normal. Okay. I mean, you had a guy going out looking for a guy who's hunting with his kid and he come back skin alive? Come on. This guy Dallas just like knows everybody in town. Yeah, I'm back. I'm kind of looking for a job. Hey, I can kind of investigate whatever. Not a huge concern for missing with our plasma caster. Is that what it is? Very much. Oh, how come I can't remember the character's name? Let me get my phone. From the first alien. Hey, Jonesy. Go ahead and go off look for Jonesy. I want to get the character. Brett. Yeah, very much how Brett dies. The puncture through the helmet. It's like the puncture through his trucker cap, right? Yeah, we gotta do the like. What do high schoolers do in movies? Oh, I know. They go swimming at night. Yeah. We gotta have like a sexy slasher movie moment for our Alien versus Predator film. Wow, this is corny. You look at me all the time in class. Yeah, well, the clock's right behind you. Oh, yeah? Well, I found another clock that I can kind of stand around when I... This does not happen in high school. this kid's prospects, it's not like he is launching a social network and this girl needs to snatch him up. And there's a killer in town, maybe. We need to... Oh, no, it's these guys. The way she's acting, you'd think she was setting him up to get pounded here. How'd you know we'd be here? You know, one of these things, right? Oh, no, I didn't want to see you get beat up again. Let's see, how much further do we have according... I mean, we're halfway there, but that's with the credits. Like, this is a short movie. And I'm getting to where I can't appreciate some films that are on the shorter side. But then there are some where you can spot it felt like they had to add stuff to get to 90 minutes. And a lot of times 90 minutes doesn't feel good. Largely, they just don't seem to want to put anything in a theater now unless it's really going to be worth your time. And by worth, it just means long. I was stretched out a bit. About every screenplay starts at 2 hours. It's about what they shoot for, and then they whittle it down from there. It was the norm, at least when I was learning about screenwriting. We've seen those xenomorphs swim pretty damn good in Alien Resurrection. Frankly, I don't really like the term xenomorph. I don't really feel... because that would imply that it keeps changing, but it simply matures like anything else, really. We don't say butterfly morph because it was a caterpillar. I saw Mommy, Daddy, I saw a monster. Calling your mom's in the army and you're calling for Dad? It's a monster. Oh, we can't believe her. Oh, honey, it's so funny. Oh, okay, well, go look, huh? If only she said, it was a strange man outside. Okay, hold on now. Now we gotta take things serious. No monsters. Kaboom, monster. Trying to protect the kid. We're running away. Not trying to get the creature off Dad. Of course, we know there's very little she could have done, and even if she was to puncture it, it'd kind of injure herself. Not a great look at the aliens here, but they kind of have the warrior-like dome of the second film. I think. I don't know, I just saw a predator shadow kill an alien shadow in extreme close-up. Put its body in the pool. Don't slip. Yep, good thing Predator buddy over here went willy-nilly with the plasma caster. And we got like the town's reactor's gonna go over. Oh, well, I mean, if you say you don't know, they might take you more seriously. It was a giant alien creature, probably from outer space. Okay, fine. You're gonna go sleep it off. We got a cell for you. I mean, surely they can figure out something is amiss here. Eerie theme playing. Hey man, we're in the woods. This could have been perfect time for a predator to encounter a bear. People might have really cheered that on too at this time. Oh, we know ex-boyfriend can't be lasting. So this is the widow who doesn't know she's a widow. Are you a bonus widow if your kids also died? Widow with cluster? Whirring and clanking. It didn't say whirling. Yeah, is AVP maybe the only movie where the a predator doesn't try to repair itself? Because I don't think it did any repair work. I could be wrong. I don't think it. Yeah, I mean, it needed to be repaired by the end, but they didn't. Yes, the Nokia days. Everybody, you should just get out of town. Come on. Okay, so I guess I don't fully understand the emergency. We have to evacuate the town, but the National Guard's coming. People seem to be leaving. There's a bit of a traffic jam. Now, there is a whole wing of newborn babies left in the hospital. I would think the parents are in an, it's emergency. Hey, we got to get the kids, babies first, evacuate the hospital. Oh no, hey, we could just leave them, whatever. It doesn't make a lot of sense. And by a lot of sense, I mean it makes no sense. Emergency with the reactor. Everybody get out. Hold on. Didn't I have a baby? I can't remember. As best I remember, the National Guard offers more bodies to get killed. This is where it might have been good to have Jake Busey in as playing his son of his dad's character, right? Instead of in The Predator, like have him here first, all right? I mean, you had those guys figuring things out in Predator 2. Takes place, what, 10 years before this, I think? Actually, or does this take place in 2000? I'm trying to remember. What year did the first AV? Because this has got to be like a few days later. Just a bunch of incoherent close-ups right there. No real sense to the geography of the fight, but I guess that portrays it. Well, it conveys to the audience how the National Guard feels ambushed. Well, no lieutenant. I should have read that subtitle. Did she say we're not going to make it? Are we? Did she say the are we or not? Terrorists hit us. I mean, you would think it was terrorists, right? Probably when your first thoughts. Everyone pile into the gun store. We got a victim going to the hospital. This can't be good news. I'm just thinking, like, what are all these babies still doing here, right? Like, they would be moved out. Now, okay, pretend the Predalien doesn't munch on the babies. Pretend that. There's a blast that takes out the entire town. So, who saved the babies? In any way, the babies are not making it out of this movie. Nope, you did not find a doctor. And the power in this hospital is really on the fritz too. They'd be like, "No, you got to go to another hospital, like a town over. Come on." Okay, so what do we got here? We've got the Predalien can bypass the egg stage and just go for the implant. I forgot about that, but I'm not really sure if that's canon outside of this movie. I mean, surely anything that happens in these movies is essentially canon, right? They haven't had a big reason to truly reboot the Alien franchise or the Predator for that matter. Everything seems to acknowledge whatever. It just, you don't run into. Oh, was that the Dallas guy? Couldn't be. I thought he makes it out of here. Or no, wait, that was the. Huh. Why is he hanging upside down? So the Predator's like, hey, I'm going to hang this guy upside down to test him. But the aliens are here, so. Hey, I didn't have time to skin him. Like, oh. I don't know. The Predator's not doing a great job with the damage control. Oh, stoners with weapons. Got to shoot them. And the CGI blowing heads up effect was not as good as it is today. So obviously it's, yeah. Oh, hey, 2 for 1. I killed the xenomorph, and the acid's going to melt this out, guys, as the evidence for that. So save me some blue stuff. A hospital should have a good generator or two, right? Oh, now you're noticing pulse issues? Now, I am more acceptive of the crazy fast gestation period for Predalien. This movie could establish how quick this goes, right? I guess when it comes to making aliens, and it's putting in multiple per pregnant gal too. I mean, so it's a super breeder in that effect. However, I don't like the way how the gestation is all over the place in regard to the first AVP, going very much against what had been established. But here, Predalien plays by different rules. Yeah, National Guard basically gave him some weapons. Oh, this army colonel, he seems to know a little bit more about what's happening. And do you remember the post-credit tie-in for this film? What works? Because we get the establishment of the Yutani part of Weyland Yutani. I do believe you get a get in the chopper moment in this film. Right towards the end. Get to the chopper, I'm pretty sure. As I was explaining to someone in the comments section, run, get to the chopper. It wasn't a line people were saying like after Predator in the 80s and the 90s. I mean, it took, 20 years to become a thing. People will say hasta la vista. People will say I'll be back. But some of these things took a while. And it's with memes getting shared online that you end up with some of the stuff catching fire, taking off the way it does now. Why, Mr. Predator, if only we could see what you were doing. Okay, so your plasma caster is now a pistol. These armored personnel carry, or is it a Bradley fighting vehicle, whichever it is. Always looks cool to be rolling down the street with one of those, doesn't it? Can you get them cheap? I'm sure the fuel economy is not there. Oh, the government doesn't lie to people? Believable line in 2007. Helicopter to the hospital? Good idea. I mean, the sheriff's probably right. The helicopter's probably gone already. Truck full of kids with rifles. It's not a tank, buddy. Now, I don't recall exactly what happens to these people, but I'm assuming there's got to be more than one way out of town, right? But we're not going to let everybody escape. I mean, we got the widows with them. Surely she's got to be kill-proof, right? I mean, she's had it pretty rough. Surely she's going to make it. And if I recall correctly, I'm going to say it before we get there, the Miss Utani, you don't get a good look at her, but I think her name's Francois Yip. And she was like the main chick, kind of love interest of sorts in Rumble in the Bronx. It's probably about all you know her from. Never makes another appearance. Oh, we got a naked corpse there, or is it a dummy? I don't recall seeing that. Now the thing is, I wouldn't know for sure which it is. It's easier to just have people play these parts, but amalgamated dynamics or amalgamated design, they could really make some authentic looking dead people. There are some of their work, like Zod in Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice. That's a effect, like practical effect. I mean, I guess it might have been and for that film cheaper than having Michael Shannon back and getting a credit. That might have been the way it worked. These guys have got to be thinking hospital was the wrong answer, right? Like, where's the majority of the people going to be? Or, I mean, but then again, they don't really understand the like life cycle of these creatures. What it would be going for? You do not want to hang around a building where the aliens had time to redecorate. Just a little pro tip for you, right? Cowardly friend down. Oh, we smacked the predator. It's like all the other aliens are basically useless against the predator, right? But it can handle the acid, no problem here, whatever the hell, right? It just can't get that pred alien, dang it. You're throwing away a lot of blue stuff there, buddy. Oh yeah, let's get some discs going. Everybody loves the disc, right? Oh, blonde chick down. I'm pretty sure that happened in the trailer. Which, if you hadn't seen it, it's so quickly done here. You wouldn't expect it to have been a thing. Of course, the Predator is in the stage of, so what? I nonchalantly killed some people. Hey, it happens. Oh no, Ricky. It may not have quite been a fatal wound, though. It kind of got shoulder. Of course, we have the little girl in tow who is useless. Let's just be honest. I mean, at least John Connor would reload. Airlift for all civilians, they said. Honestly, I don't entirely dislike their chances. They have small arms fire. These guys look like they're having a rougher go of it in the hospital. And they're just kind of lucky the helicopter's still there, really. Is Newt useless? I mean, you cared for Newt. Newt had a personality. You knew kind of what she went through. Like, it's a much better characterization. Seemed to provided some tactics. Maybe if unintentionally so. Some suggestions. They mostly, at least said they mostly come out at night, mostly, right? This girl. Hey, Dad, can you go over by that window and get snatched? Okay, cool. The government's trying to figure out how big of an explosion they need, huh? Oh, that is not the type of air... That is not the kind of vehicle that gives you an airlift, buddy. No, that looks more like a fighter about to drop a payload. Evil government. Government doesn't lie to people. I mean, weren't they headed to an airfield? Like, are you telling me they didn't have a helicopter there, but the one at the hospital's still going? Again, no real sense of the geography in the battle, the fight. It's like we just cut shot, reverse shot. You shoot, alien gets blown up. Yeah, I have no idea how to reload this thing. Hope one of you knows how to fly a helicopter. Don't worry, multi-purpose army gal does. If you do not know how to fly a helicopter, you might actually be better off taking your chances staying in town. You know, until the army nukes it. Oh, this thing's recharged now. It's good to go. Okay. However, the acid blood would be a problem. Oh, predator chain. I failed to remember that. But is it a alien tail? It's kind of hard to tell what we're looking at in this movie. Wow, when the predator vision is better than the basic vision, you have a problem. We'll make it. It's kind of like I can make it. We're peppering in some of those member berry lines, right? That was very much like Saving Private Ryan. Oh, the tank's bearing down. Just get the pistol. Oh, hey, this thing blew up. What got it? Oh, something else hit it. Predator v Predalien. Is this whoever wins we lose, or is it that only the tagline for the first movie? The first, obviously, being Alien vs. Predator 2004. Attaching Requiem to the title doesn't help. Let's put in a word that people have a hard time saying. It'll make it seem highbrow, maybe. Well, it can't be the Predator without taking its helmet off, right? You gotta give it some time. There we go. Fine, you want to see what I look like? There you go. And to that, I say we don't really get a good view. Honestly, I don't think I could tell you what the Predalien in this movie looked like. You could show me the costume, right? In respectable lighting, I have no idea. Jets roaring by, that's no evac, guys. Somewhat amazing they didn't shoot your helicopter down for funsies. You know, that we don't want anybody infected getting out, right? That type of logic. You stab me, I stab you. Sir, I believe there's a misunderstanding. We're supposed to be evacuated first. Super unconstitutional is the best I can tell that this would even get approved. But hey, maybe there are contingency plans to bomb enough people that there's no witnesses and you just don't file the paperwork, right? Amazingly, everybody survives the chopper crash. Would these guys have a shoot on sight thing instead of actually rescuing? We're just following orders. Now, what makes you think they're not going to get killed too, right? You just about forget the little girl was with them. Because when you have the little girl, they kind of need to get captured. So, no, she's still alive. I got it. You'd have to reenact the Newt getting rescued by Ripley moment. This really feels like painfully anticlimactic compared to how really any other movie in the franchise goes down. We have to blow up the whole spaceship, but it's still there. We gotta fight the queen, but she's not done yet. Like, what do we have here? I guess we escaped and we got rescued. Heroic orchestral theme. And here we go. Well, could we be taking the briefcase to? But, I mean, if you're keeping up with the films, you'd recognize the Yutani part, right? So that's making some sense of that, I guess. What do we got? What's in the briefcase? The alien pistol thing the Predator had. Wow, could you be standing in the shadow anymore? Goodness. You'd think they would, relight that scene. Directed by the brother Strauss. Man, did they do anything after this? Well, mercifully, this one ends pretty quick, doesn't it? You feel like you got anything out of the lore here? I mean, okay, so we gave the plasma caster to Yutani. So what? Yeah. Till next time, adios.